Summertime bass fishing can be really difficult because the fish are moving out of their springtime haunts, moving out to the deeper water or on grass lines or just places that they're usually not early in the spring and fall. And one technique that can really help you find some fish, not only catch a lot of fish, but bigger fish, is a 10-inch worm. This here is a Bojangle's Jangle Tail 10-inch worm and blue flake. This color this year has been really good for me. I'm going to show you how to rig it and a couple situations you should throw it. So initially, you want to line your bait up to where your tail's either facing away from the hook shank or towards the hook shank. Personally, I like it away. You go in until you get to the bend of your EWG hook, come out, rotate it, pull it over the eye of the hook, line it up, put your thumb where you want your hook to come through, push it all the way through, and you can either have the bait inside or have the hook inside the bait, which would be just a regular Texas rig, or you can bring it out and then pull the plastic over the top, which is exposing it. Usually I use either a 3/8 or a 1/2 ounce tungsten weight of the Jig Shack. I don't peg it, simple rig just like that. And primarily where I fish this bait is I throw it in on the grass weed lines and brush piles, and I drag it on clay points. Pretty standard. You throw it out, you either can drag it back slowly or you can hop it along the way back. And the bites, typically you'll either feel a thump or all of a sudden they'll just be swimming with it. What I typically do is if I feel a bite, I'll reel down and I feel the pressure. If I feel them pull back, I'll set the hook. If there's nothing there, I'll keep fishing it and just keep pulling it along. Eventually it'll load up if they're still on there. You swing too early, a lot of times on these big worms, they'll just have the back part of it and they won't get the whole bait. So you need to be really patient when you're fishing these worms. Usually on a big worm like this, I use either a 7/6 to an 8-foot heavy or medium heavy rod. This here is the Kistler Helium. It's a 7/6 heavy, medium heavy rod. So it's a little bit stiffer than your typical medium heavy, but it's not too stiff to where you don't have any tip in the rod. And I also use either a 7 or an 8-speed reel with that, because on these fish, if they get a hold of it and they start swimming at you, you got to be able to catch up to them, especially after you set the hook, because usually they take off. And that's the Bojangle Jangle Tail 10-inch worm.